I think we are kind of back. Sending data. Looks like we're back on Twitch. And looks like we're back on YouTube. All right, we're back. Cool. We are back. True. All right. How we doing on that lag? No one knows. God. So fucking frustrating. Can't even believe it. Can't even believe it. Yeah, I think that's maybe all it was. Literally was just having to refresh everything. Lag or bust. I mean, I can deal with the lag. It's the, like that extreme kind of lag was way too fucking much. Ungodly. Absolutely ungodly. All right. Like it was, it was fucking me up. I mean, I deleted one of your chats because I'm trying to like move the thing. And then, I'm like moving shit around and da and just it was all bad. It was truly all bad. But hey, here's the thing. Most people, not Justin, I don't think, but most streamers, they use capture cards. So they have like one dedicated like laptop that they actually use for streaming, and they got all the rest of the shit I got for the production part, right? So they don't fuck with all that. But then they have like the one laptop that just does true. It's lore. They got the one capture card that just does the streaming itself. And so they just fuck with that. I have one computer running all of this shit. It's a nice, big fancy one and shit. It was the nicest thing that you could possibly buy like 4 years ago. So, for what that's worth. But yeah, it does what it does. And so we got the options that we got. And I try to make do. That's why, I'm not playing like insane games that are like so fucking hardcore and, whatever. Whenever I do, 4 years ago, that's code for double. True. So, like I don't do like crazy shit, on this system, or at least I try not to, we're not like, for instance, we're going to be talking about 40K. I'm not trying to play like Warhammer Total War, while doing that or something, because that would just destroy this. It would literally light on fire or some shit, like probably. So we're not going that fucking wild with it. But is it possible to I am curious though, since we are here. Let me see something. While I'm loading up the game, because that's going to take a second anyway. If this doesn't work, I'm shutting it off. But I do want to try something, because if we can get out to Facebook land, that would be good anyway, right? Because then maybe we can pull in that audience. Maybe we get a raid or something. You never know. That'd be kind of cool, right? I thought I set this up to have a permanent fucking stream key. I guess not. All right. Okay. Start. Connecting. Broadcasting. It's not too weird. It's not too laggy. It's not too nothing so far. Hopefully. I mean, you'll notice, right? What could go wrong? What if we streamed to just one more site? I mean, here's the thing. If we had donos, we could totally just plug that in. Like, that's the thing. You know, we crank out more donos. We could actually just plug it straight into Restream and not actually have to use my software for this. Or I guess my hardware for this. I gotta message Vinny because he doesn't know how to use the website. I built Vinny a website. He still hasn't gotten the domain yet, or the domain. The website's Vinny's website is up. It's hosting. It looks a lot like mine. It's pretty neat actually. You know, we got to do some palette swaps on like colors and things. And you know, font I like, but you know, put it in Vinny colors and shit. His chat is it's nicer than mine, but it also kind of sucks in different ways. So kind of debating on whether or not to downgrade his chat to something more like mine. But yeah, but Vinny's kind of new to this whole having a streaming website thing. Vinny actually only streams on console, so it's that's weird anyway. So Vinny doesn't actually have chat on screen. Chainsaw is the embodiment of hubris. I mean, you're not wrong there. Like I say though, we crank out some more donos here, and we can definitely have you know, run this in through Restream, and then we don't have to use the hardware. That would be wicked cool. I would enjoy this. We get even more of those, and I could probably stream more, and not have to be out there busting fucking brackets, right? Okay, so that's there. The pinned comment's there. Fuck you. Running down my shit. Fuck you, running down my shit. We'll leave that up because I like it. We don't need that. We got Discord. Okay. All right, let's watch the fucking toll video. All right, so where are we at? We're over here. Why? I thought I already resized that. Jesus, I have to do this every time? Yes. Yes, I am. All right.
One side's got a happy face, one side's got a sad face, or an angry face, or a whatever.
Plus, there was no sound. All right.
Put them on the you accept emotions properly, or in a way that other people can easily grasp. So you use these things as like a signifier, as an aid for other people, which makes sense for someone like Greta, who's very open about being on the autism spectrum, to have in her possession. Whether she thinks it's cute or whether she used it as an aid doesn't matter. It's a little stuffed animal she had. Now, someone on the internet took this upon themselves to say that because it's a blue octopus, this is actually a far-right dog whistle and an anti-Semitic thing. The person who made this thread was using posters from World War II, which, admittedly, it did show a blue octopus enveloping the world in its tentacles, and this octopus had a Star of David on its forehead. You know, it sounds bad, but it's run-of-the-mill stuff that the Third Reich was pumping out to sort of balkanize the people of that country into, well, anti-Semitism. Now, Greta took this very serious and deleted the post, issued apology statements, saying, I didn't know that people took this image that way. That wasn't my intention. That's not what I believe. And I wish I could have told her, like, these people are making fun of you. Like, they're taking advantage of the fact that you're going to trust people and believe the things that they say. And, yeah, the fact that she deleted it sort of, like, emboldens these people who are trying to make you believe that this is an anti-Semitic sign. If this sounds familiar in any way, like an innocuous, silly-looking thing that people are now saying is a racist symbol and now is being used unironically, that's because it does, because it's this thing. Like 5 or 6 years ago when people said the OK symbol was a racist sign, and we all took it as a joke until people started doing it unironically. And then you try and point that.
I was going to say that's a little bit different, though, because people actually were doing that
out, and then people call you crazy because, dude, it's just an OK symbol. But it's a lot about messaging and what you're doing with it. And, personally, I don't think anybody before this, even after this, is going to say blue octopuses are a sign of anti-Semitism. But you do have people who are making unironic anti-Semitic.
But so many fucking people were, though. It was insane. I mean, we went over this on stream. We looked at people who were calling this an anti-Semitic dog whistle and leaving just comment after comment of their reasons to believe some such complete, absolute fucking pig shit nonsense. People actually just went for it. It, left common sense at the door. Fuck it. And went for it. And so that group, that wonderful group of talented individuals is going to continue with that mindset. I would assume probably forever.
Imagery with it now, whether it's through Photoshop or these little AI image generators. It's now, I have seen a lot of people making fun of it, though. I saw someone who made the Faces of Communism flag, the Marx and Engels, Lenin, Stalin, Mao, and they're all stuffed animal octopuses. People are making fun of it, but there are going to be people who are taking it serious. And some people who are taking it serious as a way to message to others.
Well, sure, but they're insane.
All I can hope out of you is that, you understand that, well, first of all, Greta Thunberg's not anti-Semitic.
Right.
And she didn't have this little stuffed animal in her room because she's, this flagging out to Nazis or white nationalists or whatever. She's just a climate activist and someone who, this seems, the Free Palestine stuff kind of just seems in line with her beliefs, promoting and helping the helpless.
No, Toll's absolutely right here. The people who are losing their tits about this are absolutely fucking insane anyway. We've seen this countless times. It's a certain kind of person. It's a certain kind of leftist. It's a certain kind of activist who's going to, absolutely lose their shit over something like this. Certain. Well, Look at every weird wokelit fucking discourse that's happened over the last couple of years. At least that I'm privy to. I'm sure there have been things that have happened since then, before my time and whatnot. But just the things that I've been privy to. For instance, I got canceled for all the things that I've ever been canceled for, actually. But one mostly is a perfect example. Is getting canceled for motherfucker. Okay. Anyway, one of the things that I got canceled for instance, is trans-inclusive radical misogyny. When everyone else was losing their absolute fucking minds swimmers. Who is it? Is it Leah Thomas? Leah Thomas. No. Yeah, Leah Thomas, the fucking Olympic swimmer. People are losing their shit. You had a bunch of TradCon housewives. Was the most reacts that I had seen. Obviously, it was a man who had tweeted out some insanely transphobic shit for no reason. Just looking for ass pats because that's what conservatives are after. And the vast majority of the, God damn it, Vinny, why the fuck are you sending me voice clips? I'm fucking streaming. You're in chat right now. I can't fucking listen to this shit. Anyway, these fucking psychopaths are just posting the most insane shit. Imaginable just for ass pats because that's what they're after. And lo and behold, what are the vast majority of the comments? Conservative women, tradcons, tradwives, saying the most insane transphobic shit also. So your boy Chainsaw, he had some words, he had some things to say, and of course, let's get canceled by the woke left, right? For trans-inclusive radical misogyny, for saying that women are women and that those cringe bitches need to be, in the kitchen baking baked goods for their husbands, and that I'm surprised that their brother or their father or their husband is allowing them to even shitpost online. They should probably delete their Facebook accounts because they didn't get permission to make it in the first place. Okay? But you've got people who claim to be feminists and people who claim to be leftists who are more worried about that than actually addressing the insane transphobia coming from the right. Coming from the conservative right. In this case, coming from their conservative sisters on the right. That shit's insane. It's not feminism. It's bullshit. And I tweeted about this earlier because I didn't even know, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit later on, the Major Tom situation with the camping meme, and people were losing their fucking marbles all over social media about that. I didn't even know that NBC had an article about this. I knew that Planned Parenthood Toronto had gotten a hold of it, but I had no idea that NBC actually wrote an article about this, and they featured that psychotic fucking feminist, anti-racist activist from fucking TikTok, of course, that made this shit, blow up all over social media, and every single fucking wokelet in the fucking world, including your favorites, were bullying people for posting camping memes because it was an attack on women. It didn't do anything to help the situation. In fact, it was more detrimental to women because it put them in danger and it gave them a false sense of hope and security. Motherfucker, they were raising awareness for fucking people losing reproductive rights in the wake of Roe being overturned. Chill the fuck out. Holy shit. Those are the kind of people who are worried about Greta Thunberg and the fucking tism cephalopod stuffies. And they will forever be worried about this dumb shit. It's in their nature. It's what they do. It's their only political praxis. It's the only fucking political affinity that they have. It's the only grasp of life that they have in politics. They're afraid to go outside. They've never touched grass before. They refuse to eat ass. They certainly won't be smoking anything. Just wild shit. These people are afraid to pick up their phone and order a fucking pizza. Okay. So Toll's not wrong here, but I definitely, and it's not really, I mean, look at the guy. He's such a nice guy. It's not really in his nature to be like mean. I don't think. Hopefully we have a chance to get him on, because I think that some of the folks that have been more in his discourse lately, I think he'll be a little bit more meaner to them, and I'm definitely interested to hear more about that. Which we're going to take a look at some of those videos coming up. But I definitely want to see what his opinions are with that regard, and see if we can get him to sink some claws in, because these people are insane, and yeah, I don't know. I have no words for this shit. They're more interested they're more interested in calling other people out on the left, or even with some form of leftist, affinity, than actually doing any real praxis in life. And I mean, that goes to show, where are all these people now? Well, they're posting, pictures of themselves, touring Europe or selling books or whatever the fuck masturbatory shit it is that they're doing to it. Well, not 2 years, but a year and a half later, that's what they're doing now. Okay. They're making money off of their grift, and the other ones are sexually spending money, an insane amount of money. I've never been to Europe. I don't know. It probably cost a lot to go, unless you're Warlord, then it's like down the road, you can like throw a rock and hit Europe. But for the rest of us, it costs money. There's like a whole ocean in the way. Lots of water, pretty salty about that. Atlantic. But it's, they're doing that with the money that they're making off of this grift, calling themselves anti-racist, calling themselves feminists, calling themselves trans activists, calling themselves allies to whoever, whatever. Fucking nonsense. Anyway.
And if there's anybody who's helpless in this situation, I would say it's the people who live under a governmental rule that treats them as second and third class citizens.
I will uncancel you. You both
that seems like something that she would promote. And yeah, everything lines up for me. But, anytime she does anything, it's going to end up in the news and people are going to blow it out of proportion. So I guess until the next time that happens, y'all try to have a good day.
I'm trying, buddy. Appreciate you. All right, so that's Toll. If you don't know Toll, that's Toll. The terminally online leftist. And I'm actually gonna pull this out. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why? I mean, I know why. Let's not kid ourselves. Okay. All right, so let me find the other video here, because we now have a whole docket. This is good. Ooh, I kind of want to save that one, but you know what? We'll watch it anyway. Man, I need another screen, y'all. I mean, I have another screen. I need another desk, y'all. I don't have enough room for another desk in here. It's so sad. But if I did, I would put that Hans G like right here. Or here even would be fine. And then I could just whop, 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 just move things. It'd be great. Cephalopodi. We could do things. That would be good. But someday I will get that. It'll be good. All right.
Well, thanks for stopping by. So next year is a pretty big one in American politics. It's the presidential election, which it rolls around every 4 years. And for a lot of people, it's the only time that they're going to vote. You might call it the Super Bowl of election days or Easter service of election days. All the butts are going to be in the seats and everybody shows up. And I'm not a big fan of that. I would prefer people vote as often as they can whenever it's feasible to them. I get that, it's hard to get off work sometimes. And even then, to get a paid day off, that can ruin people. We all got bills to pay. But all that aside, I saw a lot of discourse this weekend, people yelling at each other back and forth about withholding their votes in the next election because they're upset with the current administration. Or at least that's where the arguments seem to go. But before I get into this, I do need to stress, Twitter is an awful...
Now, I say that this is an older video, but I also agree 100% with what Toll's saying here. That, yeah, withholding your vote is a dumb fucking idea. It's childish. It's stupid. It's inconceived. It's ill-conceived. It's prematurely thought out, and it's silly. It's absolutely silly. There's no reason to withhold your vote or to act. I mean, I guess acting like we're not all going to be voting for the Democratic candidate, which is probably going to be Biden. There is merits to not dick riding Biden right now in the current political climate, obviously, and for obvious reasons. But yeah, I don't know. It's that is actually complicated. Because at the end of the day, if you're not voting for the Democratic candidate, and you're throwing your vote in for the Republican, or just not voting at all, which is ultimately throwing in your vote for a Republican, because we don't, you know, we live in a first past the post system. That's the system that we have. If you don't like that system, you should be advocating toward working for it. People who have been advocating for voting third party in the United States are completely fucking wasting their time, 100% wasting their time. They're completely fucking wasting their time when they could be out there advocating for and pushing for and using all of those energies toward getting, you know, a system that would allow for third parties to exist and be functional, you know, in society. They could be doing that at the state level. Shit, when I was on Demon Mama's stream a few months back, I didn't even know this, but her home state of Maine, they done this. They done figured it out. You know, imagine if we had something like that in all the nice little red states where everybody's, you know, a bunch of conservative, anti-government, anti-da-da-da with the libertarian twist. Imagine if those folks actually were real about their politics, or if you could message the voters who are actually real about their politics, however slightly deranged, or misled, or whatever. There's various reasons why people would vote Republican that are working class and poor as fuck, right? Like, I don't know, every single one of my neighbors and everyone who lives within a 100-mile radius of me, except for like 17 of them. You know, there are various reasons why they vote the way that they do. And the best way to appeal to that is to, well, in this case, it's education, right? Letting them know that their voices are heard and that they do have options. But those are going to be in the detriment to their state representatives who do not want them to have options. So, you know, but yeah, if all the third party people were advocating for, against the first past the post system, you know, we really could have some sort of forward momentum in that regard. But at this time, it's just masturbatory. They're just wasting their time. It's lame.
Full place for sharing ideas and thoughts, because people will straw man you a lot. You know, they'll take a statement you've made and they will take the worst possible read of it that you could imagine, and they'll say, no, this is what they really mean by this. And then the next thing you know, for days, you've got people hounding your messages or your mentions saying that you're a bad person for believing this thing that you don't really believe. And that's definitely what's happening. This whole withholding your vote in the next election. When it seems like, to me, what it is telling your elected officials you're not going to vote for them unless they change their tune. And I don't see why that's a hard thing to grasp for some people, you know? Just stop looking at this as an election thing, right? If you got a friend, someone you know, who, say they insulted you one way or another, they said something mean about a family member, or maybe they took something from you without your permission, are you going to say something about it? Or are you just going to let them keep doing it and assume nothing is wrong, right? I would imagine that what you would do is say something along the lines of, hey, I don't like this thing that you did. And if you keep doing this thing again, we're not going to be friends anymore. Why is it so hard to say that to an elected official, right? Why is that such a hard thing to grasp? For you to call someone?
I mean, I agree with this. I don't think that withholding your vote really does that, though. I agree with this 100%. They should be protesting. There are many other ways to do this outside of just telling the elected officials, hey, I'm not going to vote for you. There are so many ways to do this that aren't that. People who are anti-electoral anyway, they love the protest. They don't love writing letters. They don't love sending emails. They don't even seem to love getting on Twitter and shit posting their politicians. You know, they love doing it to Biden because he's the only one they know about. But the vast majority of the people that fall into this category, they don't know who their state representatives are. They don't know who their state senators are. They don't even know what district they are. They don't even know what fucking districts look like on a goddamn map. And no, the fact that they are constantly changing those districts is not an excuse. Okay. You can Google it. But these people have no idea who their state reps are. They have no idea who their U.S. reps are. If they do, they don't know what the districts look like on a map. They have no idea. They have no idea who their county commissioner is. They have no idea who their dog catcher is. Again, these are people who cannot order a fucking pizza, over the phone. They're the type who order delivery and then don't actually show up to the door, even though it's like summertime or wintertime. They order a pizza, dead of winter, 9:00 at night. It's like negative 32 degrees outside. They're not coming out. They're waiting until they see the headlights gone, and then they're coming out. I know these people. They don't show up. They don't do canvassing. They don't walk. They don't fucking, whatever. And that's a them problem. That's a failure on their part. They're more than willing to jump on Twitter and shitpost in my notifications, show up in my fucking mentions, talking mad wild fucking shit about why it is that I'm talking about advocating for local reps and doing actual canvassing and shit like that. But they ain't about that life. But they should be. I mean, that's the problem though, isn't it? That they should be. There's absolutely nothing stopping them. But yeah, I mean, send an email, send a letter, organize something. I mean, shit, JoJo, you seen her here in chat. You know why I know JoJo? I mean, other than the fact that I've known JoJo for literal decades. But I reconnected with JoJo because she held a protest. She organized a protest just out of the fucking blue. She was like, I think it was about Roe. I'm thinking, unless I'm mistaken, I think it was about that. She was just like, fuck all this. I got kids. This is bullshit. And then, jumped on Twitter, jumped online and was like, hey, we're going to do this thing. Y'all should come to my thing that we're going to do. And she got insane attention about that. It's just that easy. It's literally just that easy.
Or write a letter to your representative or senator or whoever.
There it is.
And say, hey, if you don't change your tune on this, we're not going to vote for you. I voted for you because I thought you were this type of candidate. And
right, already. Send them a letter and say, I'm not going to vote for you if you da-da-da-da-da. Not, I'm not voting fucking ever, period. I'm going to, whatever. There's nothing wrong with being inflammatory.
Through your actions, you're showing me you're not. So unless you change this, I won't vote for you. That seems like a normal thing to do, right?
Yeah, let them know, not fucking the whole goddamn world, and encourage fucking thousands of people who fucking follow your weird ass on social media that voting is bad and that, that not voting is praxis. There's so much more, to the point. Literally doing anything. Who are you telling? You're telling a bunch of potential voters that may or may not be registered that they just shouldn't. That's what they're doing. That's literally it. This is so much more, productive, efficient. It's actually doing the thing.
Before you get into general elections, you have primaries where you can put up a different candidate against this person who's in a seat. You can say, your way of doing things is wrong. We don't like it. So we're putting up someone who we think is going to be better. And hopefully something good happens from that. You get someone who's a more viable candidate for your politics. But at the very least, the person who's in that seat, they're going to be afraid. They're going to say, oh, I'm not doing my job right. I might have to find a new job because I'm going to get fired because the people don't like me anymore. We all want to keep our jobs, right? We all got bills to pay. So I would imagine if you put heat on somebody to say, we'll fire you if you don't do what we ask, they might do what you ask. Now, all of this aside, what this boiled down to, people were saying this is don't vote in the general election. That's where a lot of people took this discourse. And I gotta say, I think that's really far from the truth. For a lot of these people who started this train of thought, I know most of them vote in every single election. And for those who are in the United States, I know they all vote Democrat in the general elections. That's the thing. When it comes to those, that's not really a who I want the most. That's a trolley problem. I know you know the trolley problem. There's the guy who's got the handle. 5 people are tied to one track. One person's tied to the other. And if you
I love the more recent discourse that's come about on this, where some dipshit and it's actually quite literally had tweeted out the solution to the trolley problem is to blow up the trolley, as if fragmentation doesn't exist, which is exactly what would happen. I wonder if Toll mentions this. I have no idea.
you don't pull the lever, the 5 people get run over. But if you pull it, one person dies. This isn't a complex issue, right? A lot of people make this into some big moral, oh, but then I've got blood on my hands. The blood's already on your hands. You participate in this system every time you wake up, every time you cash a payroll check, every time you buy something. Your taxes are fueling this system. So it's up to you to make the choice of who's going to get it. One person is going to go for 5 people. And if you don't participate, oh, well, I guess it's not your responsibility. You're not in any trouble because it wasn't you on the tracks this time. So your hands are clean from all that blood, right? Your inaction is an action. You need to participate in these systems as much as you can in any way possible. That way we can hopefully get better outcomes. It takes all of us putting pressure on these people to do that. And I hope you can figure that out. I hope you and the people around you understand that putting pressure on these elected officials is not saying you want the other guy to win. We want you to do your job better. That's it. I'm sure a lot of you get that, but if you know anybody who's confused about this, send them my way and hopefully we can change the minds. But, I guess until then, y'all try to have a good day.
I don't know. By the end of it, I'm not actually sure if Toll agrees with me or not. It sounds like we can definitely come to some similar conclusions there. But at the end of the day, I would say that voting is absolutely important and it should be done. And So I don't know. That would definitely be something to discuss. Further. Okay. All right. So where is it at? This is it? Okay. And then this one, we put that there.
This marks the potential start of a third world war.
All right. So here's what's going to happen real quick. I'm going to tinkle. Okay. So everybody sit back, stretch your sack. And if you got a tinkle, now would be the time. Because I totally got a tinkle. It's a tinkle break. Let's be right back and get your snacks. We're taking a tinkle break. Tinkle, tinkle. All right, and just like that, we back. Woo. Okay. So there we go. All right, last one. So this is... All right, I guess I'm going to do a little bit of prep for this. So this is why we're here, right? At least for this topic. Is for sneezes. All right, let me pull up the tweet. So Red Hum, the real Red Hum, has been tweeting some tweets lately, if you can believe that. And they've been grabbing my attention. Okay, listen, I've played Warhammer, Total War. haven't played 40K. I know about 40K. To be fair, I will always kill the one person. That's fair. I've been playing Warhammer Total War. I haven't played 40K. I know about 40K. I'm like familiar with it and shit. I get it, but I haven't played 40K. I know that there's some lore. I've read a little bit about, I think, some of it, not a lot. But there's some shit going down in the Warhammer fan base. If you ever watched Rad Hum stream, Rad Hum, it does paints. I might even print these things out or have someone there. I've just seen Rad Hum do like political content, but then also it's got like a special cam that like for. I had tissues somewhere here, and I may have to go find them later. But anyway, Rad Hum will do like miniatures, right? 40K miniatures. They're pretty fucking cool, I think. But I will see, Rad Hum doing paints, and I think he's done this for subs too, where someone will sub, or maybe it's for patrons or something like that. He'll do like a special custom something. I think for Pride Month, did a transcoded the fuck is that thing called that the anyway, just neat shit. Okay, doesn't matter. Rad Hum be doing things, and it's fucking cool as hell, right? Okay, so got that out of the way. But Rad Hum has been getting into some hot water with dipshits on Twitter, and I've been seeing some of it, and I replied to some of it. And I actually got into a little bit of a situation myself where, and this is how this got brought about. Rad Hum had tweeted something out, basically making fun of a chud. Wasn't even making fun of the chud, was just basically saying, man, I really hope this person, figures out, oh, that's what it was. So it was an incel who I guess had posted some really cringe shit about Warhammer, which we're going to take a look at what kind of cringe shit chuds be posting about Warhammer. Because I guess it's cringe shit. And as part of this, they had also tweeted out that, I'm fucking, I'm never gonna get some ass. I'm fucking lonely as shit, having like the worst time of my life, and like some real like heartfelt ass shit, right? And Rad Hum responded with a quote tweet, or no, didn't even quote tweet. I think just screen grabbed it and like marked out the person's name, because they're probably a smaller account, but they have dumb fuck ideas about shit, and was just like tweeted out, hey, this person has some really sussy opinions about women, and some really sussy opinions about their life as an incel, and is surprised that they're in this situation. I hope that they fucking figure this shit out and, get a hug and get some ass. It was basically the gist of Rad Hum's tweet, right? Was that like, this person's kind of fucking got some dumb fuck opinions about shit, and I hope they figure that out so that they can get a hug and some ass. Literally, that was the tweet, right? And just piles of weird incels just showed up to say dumb fucking shit and call Rad Hum a bully and how did, right? And I'm like, bruh. And so like I jumped in the replies and I'm like, how dare you? How dare you make fun of this person? You know, I don't even remember what it was. I said some sarcastic shit like that. I don't even remember what the fuck it was. And you know, Radham got it. But the dipshits didn't. And so they were like, I had like a bunch of really cool people who follow me liking my tweet because they got the sarcasm. And then a bunch of maniacs also liking my tweet and being like, yeah, you tell him, bro. I'm like, wait. Fucking hold on. Like, sarcasm missed. But anyway, so I kind of saw it like third hand like that. I'm not really sure exactly what all of it is, but let's take a look. I caught this tweet, whatever the fuck it was tweeted. So we'll look at this and then we'll take a look because I have a feeling that Toll's in the similar circles, not the same circles, but I think in a similar discussion type groups of some kind or some shit. I have no idea. We're gonna find out. What the hell is going on with 40K and MG Toe? Being a hobbyist is different to being a fan. Being a fan of 40K is fine. There's good books, video games, and it's a fun setting. But it's a different level of involvement to be assembling, painting, and playing with minis, which is the hobby. Okay, so apparently assembles. That seems complicated, but all right. The reason I'm making this post, that's really fucking cool, actually. It's a miniature of, I'm guessing that's a Space Marine doing miniature Space Marine crafting. Fucking, that's baller shit. I don't like this tweet. Fuck it. I like it. We're going over it on stream. It is because there are currently some fans. I'm not doing the Radham voice. To be fair, I will always go, okay. What are you playing today? Empire Total War. It's the only thing that I can actually play that my brain still works enough to where I could do stream content. You were here for the Dune. There's no way. I'm like, no, there's no way. But yeah, Empire Total War. Highly recommended. No mods. But apparently there are some pretty cool fucking mods for it too. Is because there are currently some fans trying to frame hobbyists as tourists. Hobbyists are also fans of the setting, and many people became hobbyists after being fans. Why is this happening? By the way, your name's Blue because Minnie dropped the gifty a little while back, and we're just carrying that over. So you and Vinny got the gifties. So you can thank Boy Meets Minnie for that. The old white name genocide. I do it all the time when he's painting miniatures. Oh, hell yeah. Why this is happening. Hold on now. Oh, fucking Jesus. They're going to force me to do the accent. All right. Those calling hobbyists tourists are largely newbies who are here to fight a right-wing culture war that people involved in the hobby and fandom generally don't actually want. This is gatekeeping. And this is why I pulled the Toll video, right? Trying to keep a fandom pure by being dicks to people they don't like. And unironically, weren't we just talking about gatekeeping, I think? Neat. So regardless, whether it's rightoids doing it for dumb fuck reasons, or people who think that they're leftists doing it for dumb fuck reasons, gatekeeping bad. For the most part. Concern. They've called writers and artists who worked on the setting for decades tourists for disagreeing with reactionary politics or going against gatekeeping headcanon. Gatekeepers don't want a healthy, growing hobby or fandom. That person is talking about John Blanche, the artist that helped define a lot of iconic 40K look. So rejoice if you get called a tourist. I guess you're sharing with the label of legends. Yeah, okay. I don't know who he is, so we'll run with it. They want fandoms to be smaller and insular to pander to them and their views. And they're willing to be vile and toxic in order to drive people away. Make no mistake, these attitudes drive away new fans and hobbyists and sabotage the things they claim to love. How is the hobby meant to grow when you keep being such a cunt? Think gatekeeper. Think. I mean, true, though. This can be applied to that shit we were literally talking about a few minutes ago, though, also. How is the hobby? How is the politic? How is the movement? How is the political advocacy meant to grow when you keep being such a cunt? Think, gatekeeper, think. These are the same hate fans plaguing Marvel, DC, Trek, Doctor Who, Star Wars. They resolutely ignore that these franchises have always been largely progressive. There are entire ecosystems dedicated to grooming and feeding these destructive anti-fans. Enjoy this. Okay. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, fuck you. And that one. Boom. All right, cool. Hate fans claim a slavish dedication to lore that is constantly changing and is frequently self-contradictory. In many instances, they're actually defending headcanon. But all true. God, so broad. Or what are we even talking about here? That seems universal regardless. But all this is just an excuse to be hateful, bigoted to those they don't like. Are we still talking about 40K right now? I'm sorry. I can't. This is good. Why am I not liking every single one of these? This is good. This is real good. We're going to just show some love to Radham, who clearly doesn't need it online. Holy shit. Literally. In truth, the Warhammer community, both fan and hobbyist, is one of the most open and welcome communities out there. This is just a group of terminally online bigots who identified 40K as their latest battleground. Ignore mock the gatekeepers. Most of them are kids who will grow out of their hateful cringelord phase. The rest are sad, lonely people with nothing better to do with their lives. Literally, quite literally, and quite actually, the person that he was tweeting. If you can show them the kindness and grace they refuse to give others, they're only human. 40K lore is a playground, not a prison. It's designed to be flexible and to promote creativity. There are lore-friendly ways to do many things that are against the established lore. It's a huge galaxy full of potential, possibility, and that freedom is a part of the hobby. I think this is the thing that they were mostly concerned about, to be honest. And you can imagine why. And because it will be brought up, yes, GW recently defined consuming 40K media as being part of the hobby. It can be, but I disagree that reading books, watching animations, or playing games makes you a hobbyist. It makes you a fan, and that's perfectly fine. Addendum. After talking to some people who responded, I would like to clarify my language. I do consider fans who engage with 40K media to be members of the hobby. I just think hobbyist has value as a specific term designation. That's there's not a hierarchy here. Fans are awesome. Oh, well, fair. I'm sure that the replies are just delightful, to be honest. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun playing Dune, to be honest. That shit was hard as fuck, though, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so there's the tweet. We did it. Now let's check out the Toll video. We got that loaded up here? We're about to. All right. So Toll on gatekeeping hobbies featuring Chudhammer. Featuring Chudhammer? All right. All right, let's try it with volume, though.
Thanks for stopping by. So, you've got hobbies. I mean, I've got hobbies. We've all got hobbies. And no matter what that hobby is, whether it's music or movies, TV, anime, video games, it doesn't matter. Other people like the same stuff as you. So, you like to try and find them if you can, and whether you find them at your local game store or a convention hall or a concert, or hey, maybe you've gone on the internet, dabbled around on some message boards. You talk to these people about the stuff you like and you don't like about the hobby space. You know, maybe stuff you want to see the developers implement in an upcoming update in your favorite game, or maybe something about the tabletop that you think is a little bit overpowered that you want to see them even out in future installments. If you do this for a long enough time frame, you're going to run into people that you would call gatekeepers. And on the surface, this seems like a good thing, I'll be honest with you. You know, this idea that you should keep your hobby spaces kind of free and open to people who want to engage with it. But we all know, if you've ever dealt with one of these people, it's never the case that they want you to have fun in there. I think the most common form of gatekeeping that we all experience is music. You know, the joke that I think we've all heard.
I'm not gonna lie, I might be totally responsible for this myself. Used to be a huge gatekeeper when it came to music, yeah, especially in my youth. I liked what I liked. I didn't like literally anything else, which I'm still kind of like that to a point. But I guess I am still like that in some ways. But I like to think that I have a pretty wide range of music that I enjoy listening to. But there are certain things, you know, to where it's like this may or may not fall into a such and such category, and you know, whatever. So yeah, I might be that guy.
Heard as the girl wearing a Nirvana shirt is approached by some big dude who's like, oh,
okay, not that bad. That's weird. That shit is super weird. Where folks are worried about shit like that. No, I was more the guy who was like, okay, since we mentioned Nirvana, would come across something that you know, and be like, oh well, that's not exactly you know, that's not a grunge band. That's not that kind of thing. That's not whatever. But yeah, no, I know what he's talking about here. That's a different type of cringe. That's a type of cringe I do not subscribe to.
oh, well, you like Nirvana? Why don't you name 3 other albums for me? And
Right.
it's, for one, you'll notice that in these stories, it's always a woman. A lot of the times with gatekeeping, it does come from a place of, well, frankly, bigotry. These people want the fan base to fall in line with their ideals and belief structures. And a lot of the times, that means kicking out people who are otherized in society, who might think different than them. You can see this a lot, especially in the tabletop places as well. The group I'm dealing with right now is specifically a group of tabletop enthusiasts that they're very proud of calling themselves gatekeepers. They've developed a whole legion, by their own words, of people who make sure that they're going to keep their hobby space pure and clean. You know, they use usernames with honorifics like General and Marshal and Purifier, and it's, you know, it's all so corny, but
That's kind
you're
of
going to deal with these
lie.
people online. They're going to screenshot the stuff you say. They're going to take you out of context. They're going to do everything they can to frustrate you out of this hobby space. But something you need to, like, I'm sure you're aware of this if you think about, like, the logical conclusion to these people who want the stories and structure to remain the same. Everything changes, you know, especially when it comes to companies like Games Workshop and Warhammer. The story has to go somewhere. Things are always going to be added in for you to purchase. I mean, their whole business model is pumping out, you know, different models for you to buy. So eventually, at some point in the progression of this story, something will be implemented that these guys don't like, these gatekeeper people. And they're going to have 2 choices.
Yeah, it's called cooties. From what I can tell, it's mostly just the cooties that they're worried about. As best I can see from what I've been looking at and from what I've been reading, it's literally just the cooties.
They're either going to get worse and talk about how this isn't real lore and how they're the only ones who have the rights to what is and is not a part of the hobby space, or they're going to just leave it because, oh, they've gone woke or something like that. You know how these people are. And I can't wait. It's like, it seems like every time there's an election cycle, you run into these people who get surprised that Rage Against the Machine preaches left-leaning politics when it's like, what'd you think they were doing this whole time, man?
So woke.
Like, your belief structure, your need for rigidity and stagnation is going to be your downfall. One of these people I argued with about this said that my lack of care about how the story changes means I don't have an opinion on it. And that's not the case at all. I love how stories move forward. I love progression. I love change. Change doesn't even always have to be a good thing. But just I like for my stories to go somewhere. I don't like reading the same stuff over and over again. It'd be cool for new things to happen. So eventually in these hobby spaces, new things happen that will make some people so upset that they can't even believe it's reality anymore. And, when that happens, I just hope you all join me in laughing at them. We can all continue to have fun with these fictional, fantasy realms, and we can joke with our friends, and we can make our little homebrew chapters, and you can do anything you want in your personal time. It's these other folks who have a problem with that, who you have to stay within the rules. You have to stay within my little bars. And, I just hope that you're able to make fun of them or just block them. They're frustrating to deal with. They don't want anything but to make you mad and leave the hobby space. So naturally, they're going to leave. But you're only going to leave if they make you mad enough. So it's easier for you to win. Just take your time with it. Be patient. And anybody who says you're not a true fan of the hobby, they'll be gone soon enough. I promise that. But I guess until the next time you deal with one of these gatekeeper guys, y'all try to have a good day.
Well, there you go.
Oh, gosh! Oh, my God!
Oh, my gosh. All right. And see, this is why we got to do this. So, by the way, everybody who's watching the stream right now, appreciate you. Definitely want to go in on YouTube, and don't forget to like the VOD. If you like the VOD, it lets people know that we're streaming, right? Even better. Share it on your social media. If you got social media, if you got YouTube, or not YouTube, but if you got Facebook, Twitter, Mastodon, Blue Sky, whoever, sharing the VOD, letting folks know that we're streaming here. That's super helpful, super cool. It'll make your dick bigger, to be honest, or smaller if that's what you're into. Whatever it is you're into, it'll do that for you. That's a thing. So anyway, so it seems to me like what a lot of this just is just chuds being chuds. Just incels freaking out about girls, girl space marines and shit. I don't know the lore. I don't know what the purpose is. I don't know what the point is. I don't know like what all of that is supposed to be, or what all of that is supposed to mean, or why you can't have girl space marines. I have no idea. None of that makes any sense to me. That's it's out of my wheelhouse. I think it would make more sense if you could, or if you did, or whatever. But I don't know. Like I say, that's not a thing that I am too aware of about how all that works. But apparently that's an issue that they're having in the 40K verse with the fandom, or with the whatever. I guess the fandom, right? That's one of the things that Radham talked about, was the fandom. So I don't know. That's apparently a concern that they're having, and like I say, that stuff has played out in real time. I saw Radham tweeting something out. I responded, and like I mentioned earlier, uh, these fucking weirdos, were jumping on my tweet like, oh yeah, which unironically I had just before that, maybe a week before that, I had seen someone who I guess was pretty prevalent in a lot of leftist spaces posting some weird cringe incel type shit. And I tried to offer some decent good advice or whatever. It wasn't like incel like, oh, all women are bitches and blah, blah, blah. It wasn't like any of that weird shit. It was just like, oh, I'm so fucking lonely and I'm never gonna get laid and like this sucks and like I'm so fucking depressed about it and I feel like I'm such a piece of shit and I'm gonna friend zone post for like an hour or whatever. It was that. And so like, I tried to offer some decent commentary to it and I was met with a similar reaction, obviously. At which point I did go a little bit ham, not gonna lie. I'm here to put up with your shit, especially if I'm trying to give you good advice. Gatekeeping always bad. Just always will be willing to share though. Call those toxic, but they do need it for their own identity. Great history of human ridiculousness. It's just more said than anything. The concept of gatekeeper gates wasn't a bad thing. It was a job. Obviously, we know gatekeeping things that shouldn't be gatekept is a problem. Cooties. True. Cooties are bad. We don't need them. This is very real. I wish there was some way to stream this out on YouTube by itself. That way we can get a quicker response for chat. If we did that, we would have to stop streaming on Facebook, unfortunately. And, we can't do that. Because you never know. That would make Vinny sad in a different way. All right. But anyway, so yeah, I think it's interesting though how a lot of this can relate to what we had mentioned before with the gatekeeping and how a lot of those types who do that, even in politics, even when it comes to, in this case we're talking about incels, but even when it comes to feminism, people who gatekeep, feminism and any other sort of leftist, what should be the leftist default position, right? Woke scolding, literally just woke scolding is it's cringe and gay and bad, and they shouldn't do it. And it does nothing but cause issues and cause problems that don't need to be there. And it's in place of actually, in this case also, of building a greater community. I mean, in this case, we're just looking at hobbyists and fans and people who enjoy the content and, people who are actively participating in creating the content, being hindered from being more creative and enjoying the thing that they want to do and building a larger and stronger community for 40K. Whereas earlier we were talking about that with regard to reproductive rights. It's literally the same thing, whether it's 40K or 40 uteruses. You know what I mean? Looking to build a community or looking to break it down from the inside. That's what we're talking about here today. Fucking wild, man. Let's see. I don't even know where to go with this. What that is. Okay, so we'll give some examples here. Or at least some shit that I had seen. I don't know if I can even find the other one, but we'll take a look at least some of this shit while we have it up. Okay, so I caught this a few days ago. Let me take off the toll video here. We'll probably watch it. I got a debate I want to check out that I think you guys will think is pretty interesting a little bit later. It's a little bit of an older one now, but it's still pretty fucking good. But we'll take a look at it. So I saw this a few days ago, and it grabbed my attention. This is an entire fucking thread about this, though, right? So watch out. if you saw me tweeting about the boy kisser thing, when it came out, apparently there's just this, there's this thing. It's called the boy kisser. I don't know. Boy kisser nightmare. I guess this was the thing. And somebody tweeted this image, and was like, this is misogynistic. This is anti-woman. This is, I can't believe that anyone would think that this is a good thing or that they would support this. This is a terrible thing. And they should all be ashamed of themselves. They tweeted out some goofy fucking shit like that, right? People were losing their fucking marbles over this. Every rad femme in the fucking world. And all I could think about was Major Tom. All I could think about was the camping mate. You know, all I could think about was everyone who lost their fucking marbles, about trans-inclusive radical misogyny over transphobia. That's all I could think of. Because it's lacking. It's lacking in praxis. But there's an entire fucking thread about this that I saw, and we'll take a look. Okay, it's time to talk about this. I'm a cis straight man, already canceled. Before we begin, I've mentioned this before. I think I've mentioned this on stream. I know I've said this IRL to so many different people. Vinny, I know I've said this to you, like fucking personally, face to face. I probably said it so fucking loud I spit on you, and I apologize for that. But I know that I've tweeted about this before. I may have mentioned it on stream before, but there's when I call myself a feminist, right? And I said this even recently to someone who is a feminist, that I call myself a feminist sort of ironically, right? Because I don't have to call myself a feminist. And by all accounts, I shouldn't call myself a feminist, right? Because feminism should just be the default position of any good leftist, political ideology. Just like anti-racism, just like, any sort of egalitarianism, broadly. It should just broadly be the default position of any leftist or any progressive or any egalitarian politics. That's where feminism should lie. It shouldn't have to be a specific thing. And a lot of times when you get into the specifics, when you get way into the weeds, you end up at some weird shit. A lot of concentration on, gatekeeping, as we've mentioned. Doing lore isn't always bad, but it can get boring. And if it takes having ladies in the game world to get them in all the right. Absolutely. Well, that's the whole purpose of inclusivity, right? Who's it fucking hurting? Whatever. Literally no one. I mean, I got my wife into gaming to a degree. Barely ever touched a game before we got together. Fuck yeah. There you go. There you fucking go. Hell yeah. Even turned her on to some anime. This is what's supposed to happen. Exactly. You sharing your interests, with your wife, sharing her interests with you. Exactly. Turn around. Okay. Supposed to happen. This is how you get laid rather than being a dick all the time. Right. No, absolutely. And so with that in mind, actually, this is why I say there's a difference between whenever I say that I'm a feminist, or I say that, I'm an anti-racist, or if I, pro-trans rights and all that, like, but at the same time, I shouldn't have to. Like, that should just be the egalitarian default position of any sort of progressive politics, standing for egalitarianism, like, the fact that I would call myself an ally I don't call myself an ally to trans people. I just so happens to be, because that just so happens to be the end result of the kind of politics that I believe in. An ally to women. That's kind of cringe. I don't want to be an ally to women. If women think I'm an ally to them, great, wonderful. A lot of my beliefs are in line with the things that are good for women, whatever, Again, I call myself a feminist ironically because I shouldn't fucking have to. These should just be the default positions of any good, progressive or leftist politic that is working toward an egalitarian society that is freeing people of the shackles of systemic problems or whatever. Okay, anyway, so we said that. That said, there is such a thing that I like to refer to as the male feminist, and you've seen this guy. You've seen this guy a lot. This is the most cucked motherfucker in the world. And my biggest problem with the male feminist isn't the bullshit that comes out of their mouth or the dumb fucking shit that comes from their fingertips on social media. It's the fact that they don't even believe this shit themselves. And I know this because I used to be a male feminist. Okay? Whenever I belonged to that woke scold community that, blah, blah, blah. I was the male feminist. I would see all of this goofy cringe ass shit that these rad femme psychopaths who base their entire identity and their entire fucking political philosophy around feminism around just hating men. That's their feminism. That's their feminist praxis. It isn't raising awareness about reproductive rights. It isn't raising awareness about the systemic issues that harm women, that harm trans women, that harm non-binary people, that harm gender fluid people, that harm men even, that harm trans men even. It isn't about any of that. It's just about hating people who present masculine. That's it. That's it. That's boom. That's all. That's the whole thing. There's nothing more. There's nothing else there. It's all empty air and rocks. But that's the ideology. And you can kind of tell the difference. I side-eye motherfuckers who say that they're feminists. Whatever their gender presentation, I don't give a fuck. If they say that they're feminists, which I say that I'm a feminist, you should side-eye me. You should hear all my positions before you start making fucking decisions about what you think about my, feminism. But I side-eye motherfuckers in the same way that I side-eye people who say that they're communists. You come out and say that you're a communist. Okay, well, let's hear it. Let's get to the goods then. That sounds really, like it could go either way for me, Meanwhile, here I sit, but people just like to throw around those labels about themselves and do not believe the shit that actually, that they say that they believe in. And then the shit that comes out of their mouth is completely fucking insane and the antithesis of the purpose. In this case, the male feminist is one that comes to mind. And again, I speak from experience because I do believe that I was one at that time. Because I would see all this wild ass shit that these insane bitches would post about men and about just hating men and about, men do this and men do that and all men, blah, 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 like Clementine Ford shit. And then lo and behold, I'm sitting back with all the rest of the male feminists like, yo, do they really believe this shit? Like, is this the thing? And then liking all of the tweets and, all of the things and whatever, just so you don't get called out like a, whatever, because that's their whole identity. It isn't about intersectionality. It isn't about any of that. And you can tell from a lot of the things that we've just talked about even today. You had the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the loss of reproductive, rights, reproductive healthcare options for, people who need that across this country, literally across the country in all fucking red states where they have a fucking majority of conservatives in state power. Gone. And what are they doing? They're tweeting about Major Tom. They're tweeting about, they're bullying Planned Parenthood into putting out the most cringe ass statements. They're bullying, people who are retweeting the Major Tom tweets about camping. Bullying Major Tom off the internet. Meanwhile, Major Tom's like, hey, if you live in a place that hasn't, that they made abortion illegal, it's a good idea to be aware that there are places where abortions are legal and that you should try and take the steps that you need to make sure that you're able to get there safely. You know what I mean, guys? Right? And they're like, no, this motherfucker's got to go. This motherfucker is a problem. This motherfucker has got to fucking go. That's their feminism. That's what it means to them. That's the priority. And the male feminist sits back and watches this shit and seal claps the whole fucking time. And you know, gets all the nice head pats for it. So anyway, let's take a look at the male feminist perspective. I'm a cis straight male. I'm a male. I understand that I do not suffer from misogyny. I understand that I will never be able to truly understand women's struggles. Bro, have you tried talking to women? But my hope is that I can tackle this subject from a unique perspective. Okay. Boy kisser nightmare, anti-women spray. Oh, we've seen this meme. I tweeted about this. If you're not on Twitter, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Right. The first question we need to ask is the following. Is this misogyny? I'll answer for you. No, it's silly. It's silliness. That's what it is. This is not misogyny. That's silliness. I mean, I guess it's misogyny, but it's silliness. Completely harmless. 100%. Totally harmless. Absolutely harmless. There any swastikas on this? I guess you could tack a swastika on that. It would be a little bit less harmless. But otherwise, just silly. Silliness. Yes. Okay, I'll concede it's misogyny in the same way that cornflakes are corn. Sure. This is an example of misogyny, even in context where this is there's clearly meant as a joke. This is still misogyny. Let me explain. Okay, yeah, sure. Misogyny. Is it harmful or is it offensive to only certain people? And those certain people being jellyfish. Misogyny derived from the Greek words misos gune, woman. Definition Merriam-Webster: hatred of, aversion to, prejudice against women. Though hatred of women is not seen in the image above, there is a very clear depiction of aversion to women in said image. The act of not wanting to interact with women at all has far-reaching negative effects on how we think about this subject. This is an interesting form of misogyny that I have only ever really seen in queer spaces. Only one that I have mostly seen perpetuated by gay men. This is because they have the very real option to not have women be a part of the equation. Bro, really gonna do this? Seeing a grown man say women are gross and I don't like hanging out with females constantly confuses me. What? Okay. What are you, like 5? Same! Seeing a 30-year-old dude talk about women the way a nose-picking kindergartner does is baffling. It's wrong, even as a joke. And this is where I think people are getting the most confused with this whole discussion, that it's a joke. To be fair, it is a joke. It was intended as a joke, it was executed as a joke, and that's what makes it worse. Jesus. The punchline of someone avoiding another group is not new. I have seen this joke used for Latinos spraying anti-America spray, women spraying anti-men spray, and indigenous folks with anti-settler spray. So what makes this version different? Okay, to be fair, I saw someone I assume that they were being sarcastic, but they were tweeting as if there was someone losing their shit about this and then made a anti-men spray. I assume that they weren't actually losing their shit and that they were just being funny, but people were tweeting in replies. Maybe they were being serious, but the people tweeting in the replies were, I think, also sarcastically. There's no way all these people were serious. There's no way this person made this image and wrote anti-men spray and that all the rest of the replies were like, no, it's wrong. You can't do this. There's no way that all of them were serious, right? Because I did see the anti-men spray one and it was fucking hilarious. Okay? It was fucking hilarious. And I guess that's my male privilege showing or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's not my white male privilege though. So we got that card taken care of. But yeah, I saw that one. It was hilarious. I don't know. These people are insane. There's only one type of person who would be mad about this, and this person is totally cucked their ideology, mostly because they don't want to get made fun of by them, I assume. Is the only thing that I can't assume. As someone who's from the okay, the punchline of someone avoiding another group. Okay, we saw that. As someone who's from the States, a man and a settler. Bro, you're a settler? You just got here? I was born here. I'm third generation on one side. Like fifth generation on another side. And on another side, my people walked over along the Bering Land Bridge. You're a settler in the United States? That's interesting. How do you do that? It's 2023, my guy. You can already kind of tell the mindset of the people that are, that are doing this, right? Holy shit. Be fucking serious. How are you making fun of people for being 5? I can't say I'm a huge fan of the other versions of the joke either. I thought it was funny. I haven't seen an anti-America spray, but that might also be kind of funny. I don't know. Whatever. But I get to shrug it off, live in a country with massive global power, walk alone without fear of being overpowered, and sleep on land that was taken. Bro, you walk around without feeling... I've heard this argument before, and I get where they're coming from, but like that's not universal, okay? These motherfuckers, again, they've never walked outside before in their lives. They certainly have never lived in the neighborhoods that, where you can't just walk outside and not feel like you're going to be a victim of some sort of, well, even sexual violence, if it could happen. Like I get the meaning, but it's also wrong and weird to just make that the default argument, I think. I don't know. Like I get it. I get why someone would say that. And I totally agree that it is significantly more likely for that to happen to, not me. But damn, like, I can show you the neighborhood where you got to worry about this, okay? And I can tell you the restaurant's uniform you want to wear at certain hours in order to not be the victim. The answer is always Taco Bell, because you provide food for the community. My boss told me that. The one who got the job managing that Taco Bell after he got hired, his job before that was robbing people in the neighborhood. Literally. Like that was what he did before he got the job managing the Taco Bell, is he used to rob people in the neighborhood. That's why I know that you can not get robbed by wearing a Taco Bell uniform outside, because people know. Yeah, wild. Anyway, it was a hell of a block. I do miss it. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the coolest fucking people I ever met in my whole fucking, some of the friendliest fucking people I ever met in my whole fucking life, on that block, as a matter of fact. 50-50 on the food though. Those jokes are made from people who are revolting against a status quo that discriminates against them. People who are frustrated by continued prejudice and denial of their struggles, and thus are shouting to be listened to in a way that they feel is harder to ignore. The image above, the one that sparked this discussion, is different. It was made ignorantly, without the understanding. They are making fun of those who are struggling. It is the status quo, reinforcing contempt for an already marginalized group, and done so in such a casual way. Bro, it's a cartoon character of a cat is called the boy kisser, because he's obviously the little boy kisser, not a little boy kisser. You know what I'm saying? But and it has an anti-woman spray because it's only about kissing boys. Like what the fuck? It's not blatant misogyny. but rather the underlying tones of habitual discrimination that are ingrained in our psyche without us knowing it's there. This is why it's so scary. This is why it's so scary? How can one learn to solve a problem when one doesn't even know it's there? This is not what real feminists are fucking concerned about, or should be. Holy fucking Jesus. Holy fucking Jesus. Dude, do you know that fucking state fucking representatives have fucking sponsored bills? Do any of you fucking cringe ass motherfuckers know that state representatives have sponsored bills that would make ectopic pregnancies a fucking felony? You're worried about this? Holy shit, my fucking God. Fuck all of you people. Holy shit. Do you even know what an ectopic pregnancy is, my dude? And what happens if you don't get that shit treated? There's only one outcome. And it takes a while. No one gives a fuck about this except for fucking weirdos online. Holy shit. The male feminist. I will mention, oh my God. Wow. Can't have all the answers, but I can't leave this thread without trying to give some sort of direction. I will mention the two that have helped me the most in understanding my own personal biases. I'm not defined by my good deeds or my bad deeds, but rather how I learn from them. Holy shit. We all have been wrong at some point, as much as some of us don't like to admit it. God knows I don't, yet we need to accept our own fault and do what we can to be better, no matter what. Most importantly, listen. Listen. Yeah, listen to... Who fucking are you listening to, my guy? Holy shit. They need to shut the fuck up. Oh my God. Whoever the fuck it is that you're listening to probably needs to be speaking less. Amazing. Not just to others, but also to yourself. Listen to what others are saying, then listen to your internal reaction to what has been said. Take your time, be patient. Understanding is a byproduct of listening. Thank you for taking the time to read this far. I hope that it was able to add more context. No, it wasn't. That was so bad. That was so bad. Oh my God. That was so bad. Again, this is the kind of response that you get from these people. This is the kind of response that you get from the male feminist who follows these fucking rad femmes who are more worried about fucking camping memes and fucking shit like this, boy kisser tweets, than fucking people like Brian Seitz out there fucking posting up bills to fucking that will literally kill women who fucking have teratoma tumors growing on the fucking outside of their fucking outside of the inside of their fucking ovarian tubes and shit, getting stuck and wherever the fuck, getting complicated, and then fucking bleeding and fucking rupturing, and then fucking bleeding to death from the inside. Okay, this is what you get by listening to those fucking people. This is what's wrong with their feminism. Okay, it's not feminism. It's fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. God, I've said it so many times I can't even remember where the fucking Flavia Jodan. Probably not. I looked up this tweet so many fucking this fucking quote so many times. Was it Flavia Jodan that did the my feminism will be yeah, it was Flavia Jodan. My feminism will be intersectional or it will be bullshit. These people have no idea what the fuck intersectional feminism is. Their shit is so fucking insane and backwards. It's just wild to me. So fucking like I'm offended by this stupidity of people who fucking call themselves feminists, and this is what they've got. This is what they have to offer. Fucking insane. Absolutely fucking insane shit. Holy fucking God. Just wild. Yeah, I don't know. That's something else. I don't know what the fuck you would call that. Like I say, the male feminist is a different type of creature, for certain. Certainly missing the mark. And I mean, you kind of can't blame these people though, because again, this guy doesn't actually believe this shit. Like, period. There's no fucking way this guy believes this dumb shit. And it comes from a place where people will call this some sort of praxis based on feelings, based on vibes, even though it serves no purpose. It serves absolutely no purpose. The purpose that it serves is to drive a wedge between people who might consider learning more about these kinds of issues who otherwise aren't familiar with it. People who aren't familiar with feminism and people who aren't familiar with the struggles of people who deal with femme presenting people, of women in general, cis women, trans women, trans femme people, of a variety, other trans people who require reproductive health services. They're not concerned with that. That's not their goal. Their goal is vibes. They're not interested in fighting back against people like Brian Seitz. They're not interested against fighting back for reproductive rights. They're interested in scoring points on people who would dare to say that Amy Coney Barrett is a cringe ass bitch. That's what they're worried about. That's what their feminism is. That the process of smashing the patriarchy, that no woman should be held responsible for their part in upholding patriarchy, simply on the basis of their genital configuration. It's literally all it is. It's bioessentialism. But yeah, wild shit. Absolutely wild shit. This is how we end up with people who are defending TERFs. When I think it was Feminist Current that had originally put out that article about is TERF a slur, or TERF is a slur or some shit, and they mentioned all of these fucking TERF protests where all of these women got all these threats and they were making rude remarks to women who are still calling them feminists. But this is, I want to say like 2015, 2016, 17-ish. So still like in the midst of that Gamergate thing, or just afterward, before when trans rights was really just, it wasn't like mainstream political. It was something that only TERFs concern themselves with. So anytime you mention the word feminist, anybody could just claim that, including TERFs, which now it seems to be a little bit more few and far between. But and liberals were actually defending the idea that you shouldn't say TERF, or you shouldn't use the word TERF because that's a slur against women. Like, who fucking gives a shit? Yeah, I don't know. Just wild shit. Absolutely wild shit. Anyway. But yeah. Jesus. So I guess continuing on the theme, I saw this a while back and I shared it around a little bit, and I wanted to take a look, because I I'd share this to a few people who said that they enjoyed the article. I'd shared it to a few people who said that it was cringe. But I'm not going to lie. I haven't actually read it yet. So I kind of wanted to take a look and see what actually is going on here. So this came out when? November 13th. So not too long ago. Article that came out in, what was that? Wait, there was an article. Hang on. There was a whole ass article with this. Wasn't there? Da, 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 da. Oh, in Variety. The article's at the bottom because you have to do weird shit with with Twitter. All right. So we'll take a look at the article and we'll go from there. Billie Eilish says men don't face criticism about their bodies because girls are nice. Nobody ever says things about men's bodies. If you're okay, let's actually take a look at the article. So this is in Variety. Maybe. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. Okay, there we go. Billie Eilish made for this. Being a woman is just such a far cry. Such a war forever. I'm going to say far cry, I don't know. Being a woman is just a war forever, Billie Eilish says, especially being a young woman in the public eye. It's really unfair. When I arrive at an LA studio, Eilish strumming her acoustic guitar, radiating an effortless cool. She's so down to earth. It's easy to forget that she won 7 Grammys, an Oscar. Okay. Turns out that I'm young and I have a whole life of shit I can do, she says. Maybe because my life, holy fuck. Wait. Just chill, bro. It's just an article. Whole life of shit to do, she says. Maybe because my life became so adult very young, I forgot that I still was that young. I settled in a lot of ways. I lived my life as if I were in my 70s. Realized recently I don't need to do that. Eilish, 21, got her first taste of fame at 13 when Ocean Eyes, the ethereal track she recorded with her older brother Phineas in his tiny bedroom, went viral on SoundCloud. As her career quickly took off, she was forced to navigate her adolescence with everyone watching. She immediately endeared herself to the public with a persona full of contradictions, a whisper soft voice paired with sticky hooks about murdering her friends, lighting an ex's car on fire, and dumping a possessive boyfriend on his birthday. Combined with distinctive style of baggy neon clothes, striking blue eyes, and a flair for the downright creepy, an early music video featured a tarantula crawling out of her mouth. Nice. She soon became the name on the lips of everyone in the music industry. She bristles as she recalls the weird and upsetting scrutiny she faced in her formative years. Who was she dating? What was her sexuality? Why did she dress like that? More sinister critics even questioned if she was secretly devil worshiper. Oh no. Still, Eilish looks back on her early success with pride around the time her mega hit Bad Guy reached number 1, 2019. Eilish thought she'd found true happiness. That was external validation, though. She says, I think at some point this year, I realized that I was I gotta find stuff within myself, my personal life that has nothing to do with the outside world or the internet or my status that's going to bring me that much joy. So she's done that, pushing herself to new creative heights with a slew of projects outside of her comfort zone. Case in point, stirring up Oscar buzz for the Barbie original song, What Was I Made For, and garnering praise for her acting debut as cult leader Ava in Prime Video's horror satire Swarm, all while putting the finishing touches on her third studio album. My life is feeling good, she says. Like I'm becoming a person I really love, doing things I'm really proud of in many ways. In my life, I feel like I'm just now waking up. When Eilish first sees her famous blue eyes instantly lock on the bright pink box in my hand, since she's been being honored in our Women of Power issue for her work with plant-based nonprofit Support Plus Feed. I've never heard of it. Felt appropriate to bring a few vegan pastries from a local bakery. Nice. Oh my God, will we be eating these? She says, tearing the box open as her mom, Maggie Baird, snaps a quick photo of the treats. What the fuck? What is this, an article? Is it a fucking video now? Why can't I close this? I sit down facing Elish on the other side of the large coffee table. You're so far away. Come sit next to me. She beckons, and just like that, we're sitting crisscross applesauce on the couch. She hasn't always been a girl's girl. In fact, she spent much of her life plagued by the assumption that other women don't like her. I've never really felt like I could relate to girls very well. I love them so much. I love them as people. I'm attracted to them as people. I'm attracted to them for real. She doesn't miss a beat. And she says this like any other young woman of her generation, talking about her life. For a stadium-selling artist from a different era, such a revelation would have required record label ruminations about the effect it could have on her career. I have deep connections with women in my life, the friends of my life, the family in my life, she says. I'm physically attracted to them, but I'm also so intimidated by them and their beauty and their presence. The tenuous relationship with femininity and womanhood has only recently started to change for her. Following the July release of the Barbie song, the soaring, somber piano ballad is placed at the emotional climax of the Warner Brothers blockbuster, scoring a scene from Rhea Perlman's Ruth Handler teaches Margot Robbie's Barbie what it means to be a woman. Take my hands, close your eyes. Now I feel, she says, offering Barbie visions of a real woman's world. Of real women's world, even. The scene spawned a heartwarming TikTok trend in which more than 1.3 million users made video collages set to the song, sharing their own experiences of girlhood. It was so moving, dude. It was so touching, Elish says. I feel like I helped bring people together, and it felt so special. I wasn't expecting to have women around the world feel connected. In the song's official music video, which the singer directed, Elish faces earthquakes, wind, and heavy rain as she unpacks a small box with Barbie-sized versions of the most iconic looks, mostly oversized t-shirts and sweatpants. That signature style provoked praise, attention, and even Halloween costumes. But it came with unwanted speculation. What was Elish hiding? I wasn't trying to have people not sexualize me, she explains, but I didn't want people to have access to my body, even visually. I wasn't strong enough and secure enough to show it. If I had shown it at that time, I would have been completely devastated if people had said anything. That's completely fucking understandable, though. She takes a deep breath. Maybe my not really caring about being sexualized is because I've never felt desired or desirable. Elish leans back into the couch and wraps herself tighter in a big blue baseball jacket, her jet black hair peeking out from under a black beanie. I've never felt like a woman, to be honest with you. I've never felt desirable. I've never felt feminine. I have to convince myself that I'm like a pretty girl, she says. I identify as she, her, and things like that, but I've never really felt like a girl. And she wrestled with these feelings growing up. Elish also had to contend with the media's mounting curiosity about her developing body. The rare moments when she wore tighter clothing were irresistible fodder for tabloids. I have big boobs. I've had big boobs since I was 9 years old, and that's just the way I am. That's how I look, she says, becoming exasperated as she recalls the media frenzy when she first dared to wear a tank top in public at the age of 16. You wear something that's at all revealing, and everyone's like, oh, but you didn't want people to sexualize you. She scoffs and answers the trolls. You can suck my ass. I'm literally a being that is sexual sometimes. Fuck you. There. She's fired up now, launching into a good old-fashioned rant. Nobody ever says the things about men's body. If you're muscular, cool. If you're not, cool. If you're real thin, cool. If you have a dad bod, cool. If you're pudgy, love it. Everybody's happy with it. You know why? Because girls are nice. They don't give a fuck because we see people for who they are. Man, lost me so hard there. I'm not gonna lie. What a fucking weird 180 turn. I mean, keeping in mind though, like she's literally 21, and so like the fuck does she know? But also I mean, and I don't mean that like to be like shitty. I don't mean that to be like rude, but like for someone who admittedly has their own, certainly unique insecurities about themselves, their gender, their appearance, their sexuality, or whatever. Literally, what the fuck do you know? I mean, this is honestly not. I hate to make the comparison, but immediately just reading that in a row, and I'm sure that that's the editorial choice here. But it makes me think of like incels who are so fucking freaked out about themselves and so fucking freaked out about their appearance or their whatever, and their insecurities overwhelm the fucking shit out of them, and then they immediately are just like, women have it so easy. It's so easy to just be a girl and just download a dating app, just get on Tinder and just you have anybody you want, and everybody's beating on your door and shit, right? Like it's literally that's what this reads like. Like 2 paragraphs, just boom boom. Like, look, I'm dealing with my own issues, with my own sexuality, with my body, with how I feel about myself, with how I feel about my gender identity, and where those boundaries lie within myself, and also everybody who's outside of my realm probably has it so much easier than me, and fuck them, right? Like this is literally femcel shit. I mean, maybe it's too early to judge, but that's all that reads to me. It's literally femcel shit. How weird. Did not expect that. That was going so good. That was going so good. Why? Why even comment? That was so all right for a minute. I think this is the part where people I know who read this article and were like, yeah, this is fine. And then other people I know who read this article were like, what the fuck is she on? This is so wild. All right. Let's continue. Baird lets out a giggle from across the room as Elish tells off the haters. Later, Baird says, one of the things everyone loves about Billy, and I do too, although it's a bit scary, is that she's always saying surprising things and she's honest. That can be scary in the public eye. And that's another thing. That's why I say, like, the fairest and safest thing to say is, like, what the fuck does she know? Like, maybe she doesn't know. Maybe she has no idea. Maybe she, how many guys does she actually hang out with to, like, ask these questions about how they feel about things? Probably, I mean, it sounds like, and I'm just making assumptions here, wild ones, but it sounds like probably about as many guys as the incels hang out with gals. Like 0. To get honest feedback about how they view themselves and whatever. Because guys have no idea. Guys have, these weird incel fuckers, they have no idea, what women deal with and the struggles that they deal with. And the fucking the insane amount of fucking sexual harassment that they deal with constantly. These motherfuckers have no clue. But it also sounds like the same thing. These days, Elish still rocks oversized outfits, but she also mixes in some more form-fitting pieces, which she wears with confidence in front of her 110 billion Instagram followers. In a recent photo dump, she shared a few glimpses into her life lately, including images of her dog, a recent rescue pit bull named Shark, and a look at her massive new back tattoo, and a series of abstract black lines following the curve of her spine. But one slide in particular, featuring a screen grab of the lyrics to Drake's Another Late Night, drew extra scrutiny. In the song, Lil Yachty raps, she had big tits like Billie Eilish, but she couldn't sing. Fans were quick to wonder, was Elish offended by the lyric? I think it was fun. She says, I'm flattered. Yachty is my friend. Drake is my friend. It's a joke. I do have big tits. I love it. So we're starting to get a picture painted here. Of not being that serious. That I actually like that more than I actually like that more than the other possibility. That seems to be painted, about this article and about her comments in it. Is it just she has no idea what the fuck she's talking about, and that's perfectly fine too. Sheltered lifestyle, you're in this situation, you're big rock star, whatever the fuck. That's going to come with its own weird social issues and problems with being able to connect with people. Viewing the world from from 40 stories up in a glass house, that'll create that typical young rock star shit. Raised a vegetarian, Elish became a vegan at 12 because of her love for animals, but educating herself on the connection between the meat industry and climate change has strengthened her resolve and led to her passionately uplift her mom's charity Support Plus Feed. Oh, okay. Food injustice is a real ass thing. Systemic racism is some real shit. True. They're trying to kill you guys out here without anybody realizing it, she says. What began as a crisis relief operation to distribute plant-based food to those in need during the COVID pandemic morphed into something much bigger. Our goal is to address climate change and food equity and move society and culture to a more equitable plant-based food system. Nice. Support Plus Feed conducts food drives on Elish's tours, and fans are encouraged to pledge to eat one fully plant-based meal a day. Since 2020, the organization has reached 41 cities and delivered nearly 400,000 meals and pantry items. Hell yeah. I'm outspoken in my own way, Elish says. I really don't like shoving information down people's throat, and nobody wants to be told what to do. But I just want to make sure everybody knows the deal and then make your decision. What I really don't like is being ignorant about it and being comfortable about that. Suddenly, Elish's father, Patrick O'Connell, walks into the studio and tosses Elish's set of keys. He's bought her car back from the brought her car back from the auto shop. There's some pepper spray in the keychain, just girly things. Elish jokes about her favorite personal safety item. That's what it takes to be a girly pop in the world. That's it. That's literally the article. That's it. Okay, so what the fuck? Huh. So this article came from this tweet. Billie Eilish has publicly criticized women dating ugly men and has said that ugly men deserve nothing on recorded promotional interviews. That's your reader's added context. I'm curious, whatever. Poncho? What the fuck is Poncho? Why have I heard this name before?
Girls get asked by the worst dudes to prom, and they're like, yeah, because they finally found someone that likes them. Why is every pretty girl with a horrible looking man? I don't understand. Listen, I'm not shaming people for their looks, but I am, though. You give an ugly guy a chance, he thinks he rules the world. I swear to God. Because they got a hot girl, they can be horrible. Like, you're still ugly, though.
I'm sorry, but I simply cannot stay quiet any longer. Women, you have got to stop dating ugly men.
Why? The only reason why you say this is...
Okay. Nice. Well, there you go. So there you have it. I don't know. That was kind of weird. Like I say, I didn't think that was really going to go like that. Like, it started out really nice, and I see why people were kind of like, what the fuck? Because that just kind of like came out of nowhere. And for like no reason. Just why? Just why? I mean, that's all I could get out of it. Is it sounds like she has no idea what the fuck she's talking about, and that just literally sounds like femcel shit. I'm insecure with myself, and and there's nothing wrong with that. Like, there's literally nothing wrong with being insecure with yourself or how you look or questioning your gender identity or anything like that. Like that's all perfectly fine and, and normal. It's the other weird thing that's just weird is that like, yeah, everybody that's the human experience. You're not unique. People are concerned with their looks and their whatevers. Like that's totally how that works, my dude. I don't know. All right. Let's see. Well, listen. I think. Let me pull this up here. Nice. I think we may have caused enough damage for one day. Between this busted ass computer and the busted ass stream, apparently. I'm gonna have to figure something else out with that regard on how to configure this stuff to work a little bit smoother, because I can't even believe we ran stream with that kind of hardcore lag. But hey, that's the wonderful thing about doing a live show, is that you get to find out little issues like that, and then just work to fix them as you go. Listen, here's the thing. Tomorrow, if I should be getting that part in tomorrow. I'm excited about that. If I get the part in, great. If I don't, hey, that's okay. If I don't get the part in tomorrow, we'll be streaming. I'm gonna try and do a little bit of a longer stream tomorrow. During the day, I know that nighttime is like the kind of hot hour when literally everyone who fucking is on Twitch is on Twitch. But the good news is that actually makes it even easier for us to raid the fuck out. So I think that is where we are going to do. Let me see who's even on even. Because I actually have no idea. I'm going to kill that desktop light. Desktop mic. All right. And kill in Discord. See who we can raid out to here. You know what? I got one. And that's even loaded up on the website. That's the best part. So no issues there either. We can just send you all over. All right. So you know the drill? If you're in YouTube, you should probably get in the website or you're going to miss the raid. If you're on Facebook, I don't know what the fuck you're doing over there. That's insane. Get in the website or you're going to miss the raid. Twitch, same deal. Get your asses over here. And we're going to raid out to Epic Prawn. Looks like they're doing Mellow Monday mutations. Seems like a lot of fun. Good times. Good times with Epic Prawn. We are much prawn enjoyers here. So with that, there we go. So without further ado, let's get the raid started. Oh, I'll actually raid the Twitch chat out on that, and then we'll website host. But you guys know the drill. Let's see, raid channel. We'll raid Epic Prawn. Prawn runs a pretty tight stream. Looks like they're playing Fallout 4. Or maybe 76. Can't tell. Nope, that's definitely Fallout 4. Hell yeah. Anyway, thank you for coming out. If you're on the website, you already know. Now would be the time to refresh your browsers, because we are raiding. We are raided. Anyway, I love you. Take care. Subscribe on YouTube, and subscribe on the website. You know the deal. And we'll catch you on the flippity fling flong. Rock and roll. Did that work? That didn't even work. Okay, I gotta do this on Twitch, really? Okay, hang on. Oh, there we go. We did it. All right. So we're rated. Refresh your browsers. I'm ending stream now. Goodbye. Good night. Love you. Take care. Bye. Oh my God.